Welcome back to the QORcast podcast, and today we got some spicy news, to say the least. So
Spicy.
today, the spicy is an understatement. So we got some interesting dramas. First, we got some funny ones, and we got some really, really funny ones. So it's nothing depressing. There's no update on Mr. Beast, not this time at least. So these are more funny updates on anything.
Mm-hmm.
First things first. Doctor Disrespect. Okay, he came back to streaming officially. First day back, did not go well.
Dude, I just saw some of the highlights from that stream, and I'm like, he literally came on to lie. It's so funny. He just like says a lot of shit like, this never happened and this never happened, when like in his like long tweet when all the shit happened, he was like, yeah, I knew she was a minor, but then like in his fucking stream he's like, there was never any proof that she was a minor. Like it's so funny.
Or the funny thing about it is where he was saying, he's like, yeah, I actually removed the word minor on my original tweet just because to get the journalist and see if I was it. So I was actually 2 steps ahead. It's like, what are you talking about? You said it, like, if I have millions of followers and I tweet out, and I gotta make sure what I tweet out is the final product before I tweet it out. So when he was like, I wanted to remove the word minor in my first original tweet because, I wanted to trick the journalists and seeing if they were catching on. My brother, this is a serious case about you talking to a minor.
Yeah, dude.
Of course, everyone's gonna read every word you tweet.
And like, why would you experiment with the word minor in your tweet? Like, yeah, I wanna see if the media will label me as a pedophile. I just want to test them, It's like, are you stupid?
Exactly.
Like, no, you're an idiot. Like, this is what you did. Stop acting like you're not a piece of shit. I don't know.
And then all of his friends officially like cut him off. Like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, Zlander. Like they basically all cut him off.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like, yeah, no, we're not playing with this guy anymore. Because he was already like kind of annoying and kind of a piece of shit. But like this is like where it crosses the line. It's like, nah, you got minors involved. So they straight up were like, yeah, we're just cutting him off.
Yeah.
Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman hasn't really said anything. He only said a tweet about. He only sent a video about him like reaction to it. But he has been quiet. Nick Merckx has been like very very vocal, because he's always been talking about like protect the kids with transgenders, and like that's already a discussion, another topic. But he was saying, he's like, nah, he got involved. He called me a fake friend. Oh, by the way, another thing is Dr. Slick was calling other streamers fake friends because they weren't standing up with him. But Nick Merckx was like, I'm not gonna be friends with a pedophile, straight up.
Yeah.
Which, Nick Merckx is a piece of shit, but this is the one time where I'm like, oh wow, you know what? You're actually said something right for once.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, so he can't go around saying, oh, I have fake friends everywhere. They're all fake friends. I have real friends with me.
Nah, I think all bets are off when you're a fucking pedophile. I think that's like, what do you mean you got fake friends? You got people that don't want to associate with a sack of shit. Like,
exactly. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, my thing is like, you can't go around like thinking you're playing 4D chess and all that, and like the tweets, and then saying like, oh, I actually removed it, and then like, oh, do you know what the word sexting is? It's like, there's no way you're about to describe what the word sexting and what the word minor is. There's no way you're about to describe. Like, someone's guilty when they say, oh, the legal consent of this in this state is...
Yeah,
okay, brother.
yeah, when they're like, well, actually, and it's like, okay, so you did it. But you're trying to find a loophole.
Someone's guilty when they start with that. It's like, that's it, you're guilty. I don't even want to listen to the rest of the thing you said. Because you said that, I don't even want to listen to the rest of it. Because it's so stupid. It's like, what do you mean? Like... do you know what the age is? And then he tried to define it. It was so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the best part out of all of this, he tried to play a game of Deadlock. Okay? First game on, the entire team figured out who he was, and they all left.
Yeah.
So he was the only one.
Good for them.
And I think that is a great start for the Deadlock community. Holy shit, that was amazing. Because the Deadlock intel, we'll put it on the screen. They first came out and they tweeted was like, Dr. Disrespect is trying Deadlock today. If you're a minor, stay safe. And that got like 200,000 likes. That shit blew up. And then he quote tweeted it with a screenshot of the game of everyone leaving. And then it was just, that even got like 100,000 likes. Mm-hmm. That shit is amazing. That is a W from the Deadlock community.
Dude, I hope every fucking game bullies him like this.
Mm-hmm. Because he went and played Tarkov. And he tried to play that. But like, you can tell he only strives with playing with others. And he does not play well with himself. He strives with playing with others.
Uh-huh.
And now that he doesn't have anybody to play with,
he needs someone to bounce off of.
Exactly. So it's I hope to the point where every community bullies him to the point where he just quits streaming as a whole. Because we don't need him.
He should have fucking just quit when all this shit came out. There's no reason he came back. Like, fuck off, dude.
Exactly. And then we have other news. Jynxi. Now, this, not just because it's a funny one. Now, this is even the funny one because this whole snip is stupid. It's stupid because he didn't need to tell anybody this. So
yeah, bro. Oh, okay. Keep going.
Jynxi, the R6 streamer, the one that was really big, that basically brought Rainbow Six back to life, came on stream and announced that he was breaking up with his girlfriend, Brecky Hill. There's a reason why they broke up. Jynxi was having a little too much fun by himself using a specific website.
Yeah,
you guys can put 2 and 2 together. And his girlfriend, mind you, his girlfriend does OnlyFans. Let's keep that in mind. So his girlfriend that does OnlyFans is mad that Jynxi was having too much fun by himself. Now,
you didn't have to tell anybody that. You could have just said you broke up. You didn't have to say that.
Came on and be like, yeah, you know what? Me and her broke up. There was a lot of internal issues, and that's it. And now everyone is like, bro, you really didn't have to come on and say this. You could have just said you guys broke up.
Yeah, like no one would have fucking questioned. Been like, I guess it didn't work.
And now they're getting shit on. He's getting shit on so much for this because everyone's calling him a gooner now. And it's so funny. Because it's like, man, you are a D1 gooner.
Dude,
now.
He's certified, bro.
Because he was coming on and crying about it. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, I get it. If you break up, you cry, that's fine. That's normal, right? You can cry when you break up. But you don't have to say all that.
Yeah. And I think some stuff people need to be less public about.
100%. And my thing is, like, now, I'm thinking about it, it's like, if you're doing OnlyFans, why are you mad about your boyfriend doing that? You literally do OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. And now my thing is like, you're contradicting yourself straight up. So everyone's like, dude, you dated an OnlyFans girl. What were you going to expect? Basically, straight up. So now that's the whole thing. And everyone's just clowning on him. I don't know. Like, how would you react to this?
It's just something else, man.
If he was your boy and he came on stream and did that, like, what are you going to tell him? It's like, dude, like, you don't have to say all that.
Dude, if like one of my friends, like if you told me that happened, I would have been like, you know, I probably would have been okay if you didn't tell me that.
Yeah. Like, if you said it privately to your boys and you wanted, like, some condolences, okay,
dude,
that's fine. We're gonna roast you a little bit.
I wouldn't even fucking say that to my boys.
Honestly,
that shit would go to the grave with me.
Yeah, or like you'd wait like years until you'd be like, yeah, actually the reason we broke up is because of this. But it's funny now, so we're not. It's years and on. But like, come on, man. There's something like this is the thing about it, about the internet. You don't have to say everything on the internet. You really don't, because you will get clowned for it. Now he will get clowned for this. Yeah. And now everyone's understanding why his attention span is so short. But I mean, again, this is more like it's funny. Again, he'll be fine. He's a millionaire. He'll be fine. Mm-hmm. But now on to some gaming news. Deadlock came out with a massive patch. Basically everything got changed again. Again, we're expecting this every patch note. Everything is getting changed, but I have it here, and I'm gonna go over some of the biggest thing that some games should start developing, because how is a game that's a couple months old has been doing more than some big time companies? Okay.
I mean, Valve is a big time company too. Let's not downplay that, but like,
this game is a couple months old.
They're like really adapting and trying to push the game. So
exactly. So here's a few things. First things first, they added the mini map. So if you guys have played Deadlock, you guys know what I'm talking about. They changed the overlay of the mini map, and now the lanes with orange, the color orange, is now green. So that's a little small stuff. They changed the layout of how you enter as a character. So it's a 6v6, right? So there's gonna be some unbalances in some lanes. But what they did is, instead of, it can never be a 1-1-2-2 lane. So there's 4 lanes. It's never gonna be 1-1-2-2 or 2-2-1-1. So the way they're making it basically is it's always gonna be like a 2-1-2-1 or a 2-1, like different ones, but it's always gonna be like a
it's always staggered.
Yeah. So I think this is kind of good, because now if you're there's like a 2 people on like the other lane, they can kind of help you gank, and it's more like balance wise, because you don't have like 2 people going straight up and just gank you. You'll have at least like support a little bit on each lane.
Yeah.
So this is actually a very, very good patch. This is a very good update. Penalties. Now, can we talk, this update that they did about penalties is amazing. So I'm gonna go into, this is behavior update. So so low priority queue. This is amazing. I don't know why no other company is doing this. Low priority queue. So low priority queue is a primary way to enter low priority queue is through abandoning games, but can include other behaviors. So when you abandon games, you become too toxic, you do other stuff, you'll go into low priority queue. Okay? You have to complete a required amount of games escalated through low priority queue to be able to return to using matchmaking normally. So, when you're in low priority queue, you have to be basically on good boy behavior for a few games to go back into regular queue.
Dude, how funny would it be if, like, when you get put into low priority queue, they're like, you've been a bad boy, now you gotta sit in timeout, and then once you get back, you get a Steam notification, and it's like, you've been a good boy, you're back in priority queue.
Treat him like a kindergartner. Like, good boy, now you get to go back to play with your friends. So the thing is, so also when you're in low priority queue, players can temporarily lose access to certain compatibilities in the game, including matchmaking, so you won't even be able to matchmake, voice and text chat, so you won't even be able to type or use voice chat. You can't pause, and if you're in low priority queue, you can't report other players. Bro, you know how
Dude, wait, that's low-key so fucked, because then, like, if you get put, like, this is a video game, inevitably someone's gonna make cheats for it. Eventually, then this is like then getting put with all these people that like cheat and shit, and you can't do fucking anything about your queue state. I guess besides tough it out.
Straight up, they're telling you it's like, yeah, you're gonna be put on like timeout until you behave. Straight up.
Yeah,
and then if you don't behave, or you're gonna be put with people with other low priority queues also. So you're basically gonna be like, or like. How it's gonna work, I'm guessing, is that you're gonna be put with other people in low priority queue, but you're also gonna take longer for you to be in queue. Yeah. So meaning like you're gonna be in queue for a longer period of time, so you just won't even be in games as much. So they're basically telling you, it's like, if you're not gonna behave, we're gonna force you to behave. And if you don't want to play multiple games in a day, we're just not gonna let you play multiple games in a day. So everyone instantly went to Riot and was like, why can't you guys do this? Because they're adding their block system. Riot's adding their block system where it's straight up. It's not even a block system. What they're gonna do is just they automatically mute the person. That's it, or they can't add you as a friend. That's not blocking. That's not what blocking is. And now you can still get into a game with them, even though they're toxic to you.
Yeah, they don't have a blacklist. Like Overwatch started the blacklist system, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They started the whole avoid system. I think they get like a few. I think
They
there's
get
a
like
limited
5
amount.
or something like that.
Yeah, but like if you're in a high rank and you're always in the same lobby, you can. Those 5 matter. But
Yeah,
again, like if
yeah, a
you're
bunch of people would put like XQC in there and stuff.
yeah. So that's all that they changed that. They changed a lot of items. So what they did also is they changed basically every single, almost half the characters and almost every single item. I'm not gonna go into all of them. I'm just gonna highlight a lot of the big ones. So Bebop kind of got a little bit of a buff, a little bit of a nerf. So he no longer roots your heroes during cast time, and Bebop can now keep firing if he jumps and his laser's already warmed up. Reverted recent changes to make his hook an alternate cast mode to pierce through allies or enemies. So sometimes where the hook would go through walls or go through other things, that can't happen anymore. So he has to be a clear line of sight and a clear way in front of you.
Wow, that's so crazy. Thank God.
So now I think me and you were playing a bunch of games where he straight up was like hooking us through walls.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. So like now is that. And now the hook range has been reduced from 35 meters to 30 meters. So he can't hook us from across the fucking map
That's so
anymore.
much fun, though.
Hyper Beam now displays a splash damage around 5 meters area beam that connects to the ground. Can be used to fish heroes to cover some areas. So yeah, when he uses his ult, if you try to get close to him, you're gonna take damage, basically. Mm-hmm. So that's a big one. Great Talon got some. So the bow guy. Apparently, people saying he was a very underwhelming, but I don't know. I didn't think about that. They fixed the guiding owl do damage through buildings. So sometimes there would be no damage through buildings, but they fixed that. The rain arrow, the one where he shoots a bunch of one, reduced from 7 to 4. The damage. The tier 2 weapon damage reduces from 7 to 5. The damage growth per boon increases from 1.48 to 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
So meaning like that big one, it does more damage now. But the arrow, the rain, the one that does a bunch of one, got reduced in damage. So they're more basically saying, okay, if you want to get kills, you have to get. It's basically a buff.
Okay.
Like you get rewarded for it. And then the owl cooldown has been increased from 110 to 120. So it's a little bit 10-second more.
So with these, with a bunch of these changes, what are your thoughts on the current meta of the game?
So the current meta, before, the big meta was Kelvin. If you wanted to win, you had to play Kelvin. And they killed him, basically. They should have gutted him, which is amazing. Okay. So what they did with Kelvin is, his fire rate slowed down from 80%, his beam got slowed down from 80% to 40%. So almost half his fire rate got moved down. His beam movement slow reduced from 80 to 70. So you move a little bit faster now, even if you're slowed. His rejuvenator now frozen and invulnerable when frozen shelter. So meaning like when you're in his shelter, it's like it's better now. His orb basically, and his ice path can be canceled with ice path. His ice path. And his Arctic Beam can now also be cancelled by hitting the ability key. But also, by the way, the other thing they changed about all these characters...
You can cancel by pressing the fucking ability again.
Yeah, because before you had to press spacebar, which is a little annoying. But now you could just press the space... Like for me, I play Pocket. When he sends his ghost out, or when I'm in my suitcase, I had to press spacebar for me to exit my suitcase. But now I can just press 3 again to exit my suitcase. So now it's much easier for me. Straight up, so it's better. The game was buggy at first, but they fixed it. And what I would say about all this, they changed a lot of characters. It was mostly a nerf to most characters except Vindicta. I think Vindicta was the only one that kind of got like basically a little bit of a buff for the most part because her sniper does more damage on headshots. So it rewards you for doing headshots. And then Great Talon, for the most part, when we were playing yesterday, that one Great Talon was destroying us.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like he got really ahead.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of it. But, like, so in terms of the meta, what do you think? Because, like, what I was saying yesterday with it seems there's no reason to play anyone as, like, a true tank. Because there's too much healing in the game and not enough healing reduction, you know? So that there's no reason to just build, like, extra health and stuff. And there's no, like... I guess there is, like, bullet damage resist and, like, spirit resist, but it's not, like, the same, you know? Like, they're not, like, these big items that, like, make you invincible. It's just, like... I feel like it's so much better to just build lifesteal than it is to do anything.
Who we were going against? We played 2 games yesterday. Who was the first one that
well,
was
there's an Abrams who just built fucking damage.
Oh my god, yes.
There was a team where they played like 4 tanks, but all of them just built straight like spirit damage, and we fucking lost because they just kept healing.
We could not kill them. We would like jump. I think we would jump in Abrams, right? 4 of us would jump in Abrams, but because he had so much lifesteal, it took us forever to kill him. So we found out that spirit and weapon damage is the meta. If you want to build ahead and want to be ahead, you build
just build damage. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Just pump as much damage out as possible. You'll heal
because the second game I was playing Pocket and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna build Vitality. I'm gonna straight build weapon damage and spirit. And bro, I was doing my laning was so much easier when I was building that. I didn't build I built like 1 or 2 items, but for the most part, I was building spirit and weapon. Even with my flex shots, you know, the 4 extra slots, I put straight into weapon and spirit, and I was doing crazy damage.
Yeah, I think like right now there aren't many items that like incentivize you to take damage, if that makes sense. Like in League, they have items like Jack Show, where the longer you're in combat, the more armor and magic resist you get. So like it incentivizes you to jump in early and just like keep fighting and keep going and keep going. Except that item doesn't give any damage. It's literally just like a survivability thing. Or they have Frozen Heart, where if someone hits you, they lose attack speed. And then there's also just Thornmail, where like if they hit you, they take damage and get heal cut. Like they can't heal as much. And there's nothing like that. Like all the items that do something like that require you to hit the other person, which I mean is fine, except there's nothing that says like I'm the tank, if you hit me, I'm gonna be the strong one, you know? Like I think like right now the meta, and it's just like a lack of like item variety, I guess. The meta is just to damage, build some lifesteal, and I'll be unkillable if I get my big buttons off.
Especially if you build someone like for Haze. She has like crazy like late game, she has crazy fire rate. On top of that, she can build her lifesteal.
Her ult, you just build fucking lifesteal, jump in the middle of everyone, and use your ult, and you just heal like all of your fucking health back. It's so
the only way to get her out of the ult if you stun her. So if it's like Abram stun, if it's Mole and Krill, like they would have to stun her. But if you don't have those 2 on your team, you just have to like straight up just like either move a distance. Thankfully, her distance is not as big as Seven's, so you could just move out of the way. But if she does enough lifesteal, if she's building enough damage, you're not gonna be able to get away fast enough. And especially if her other teammates are there, they're just gonna chase you. So we found out that the meta is don't even build vitality as much. Focus on spirit and weapon damage.
Unless you're building like siphon bullets or like lifesteal. Like those are the vitality items you need. That's it though. You don't need anything that gives you a lot of health. You just need something.
Or like if you want to build movement, like that's like, but that's like late game. If you want to build movement late game, that's fine. But like straight up just for vitality, build lifesteal and build movement for vitality. Everything else, build damage straight up. Because you're not a glass cannon if you could just constantly heal. Especially like if you have like a poison damage, if you do something like for example, if you're Shiv and you could just keep throwing daggers and they keep taking bleed damage, you're just constantly healing. So Shiv is actually kind of strong as fuck because not only that, you have to look at the items. Like some of these items got changes and you have to look through all of them. because some of these got like vitality. Some of these items got reduced. Like rescue beam heals reduced from 30 to 16%. Cast range is run. So some of these casting range got removed. Yeah, a lot of these vitality, a lot of these vitalities, they got nerfed so hard to the point where now, okay, you just have to go and basically just switch it up because a lot of these spirits got buffed. The spirit got if you look at these items, a lot of these spirits got buffed. Vitality as a whole got nerfed, and weapon damage got buffed and nerfed, like here and there. So again, if you want to look deep into it, I would say literally lab and look at these weapon items because some of these, like straight up, the meta is going to be don't build vitality. If you want, do not build vitality at all. At least early game. Late game, you can build like movement speed, but that's what I would say for Deadlock. And yeah, that's a patch note. It's a very big patch note. Very big. I would recommend. We'll link it in the description below the patch note. But I would recommend everyone to look into it and read it and see how it is. But yeah,
cool. I think that's everything.
That is everything. If you want core merch, as you see, I'm wearing my core merch. If you want core merch, go to QORgaming.com/shop to go for the core merch. It's QOR, not core, as in your abdominal.
Yeah, like how the fucking podcast is spelled, like that.
It's QOR. So make sure to check it out. And if you want to merch, check it out there. We're always calling new tees. We just finished our summer tees. I think it's still up. So if you want to check out, if you want to get last minute summer tees, you can. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. All right. Bye-bye.